our lecture. I'm back again, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. I'm back. Okay, so we're going to get into our lecture mode. I think you'll have lost out some time in terms of the lectures, but don't worry, I'm here and I'm going to try and catch up with all the work that we've missed out on. All right, and I'm not sure how much of practical work you did. Mr. Naya, have you all logged into S4HANA Fiori Launchpad? Have you all launched yourself off?
Yes, sir, we did like NASA.
Oh, great, 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 great. What was the last work you all did, Mr. Naya?
So I'm not sure. The last class I wasn't in, so I wasn't sure. I'm not sure.
Hi, sir.
Oh, okay. Hello, Mr. Jagannath. What
We
did
were
you?
supposed to start, I think, Unit 6, but the last class was cancelled, so we didn't start.
Yes,
So
yes, I heard about that.
yeah, so we just finished the procurement one, and that was
Okay,
just it.
okay, okay. I actually did that entire lesson with the previous lecturer, and I showed her how to do it, and you were going to start with the accounting concepts. I think that's what I'm going to do today, right? So the accounting concepts are there. Then there's sales order and there's inventory management, and that's the end of this course. Okay. So let's go straight into the accounting concepts. I'm going to upload. Right. Right. So let's get into it. I gave ma'am all these notes, all the stuff. All she had to do was talk you through it. All right. So this is Unit 6, the accounting part of it, right? Now, I'm not going to go in depth into the accounting module. By the way, Mr. Naya, can you see it, Mr. Naya?
Yes, I can.
Great, great. So the accounting system is based on the accrual basis of accounting. This course introduces you to the controlling module. When we do the practical work, you're going to see this controlling module, you're going to see the master data, and it basically explains to us what are some of the business processes supported by SAP, ERP, S4HANA, all right? And how it makes your life as an accountant so simple, so easy, okay? Let's go on. Oh, look at this. See the level that we're talking about? We are at a postgraduate level. That's what you are. And the product is SAP S4HANA Fiori 2. And we are working in conjunction with the SAP University. Isn't that cool, Mr. Naya? Mr. Naya. Ms. Jagannath. Mr. Hadevi. If you don't reply to me, I'm going to leave your
Awesome,
again.
sir. It's awesome.
Oh, good, good, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. So in terms of the overview of this module, Unit 6, the accounting, we'll be talking about the concept of an accrual accounting system, the financial accounting, and the controlling unit. Now, every time we talk about something, we are going to relate this to the practical work. SAP, S4HANA, okay? Keep that in mind all the time. By the way, I got to tell you some news, breaking news. DUT is going to be introducing an ERP system, and they are going to basically automate their processes. And I feel there's an opportunity for me to get involved in that because this is exactly what I'm doing. ERP, accounting systems, the HR systems, all of this. And guess what? I may not be a chartered accountant, but if I know things like this master data, the ledger accounts, I have some knowledge of accounting. All I've got to do is play around with it in this ERP system, and it creates an entire financial system for me, a statement of results, um, profit, loss, assets, and I'll show it to you at the end of it, all right? Isn't that so cool? Mr. Hadebe.
Very cool, sir.
Oh, Mr. Naya, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just remember, if you don't answer me, and if you don't pass, and if you don't write the exams, or, well, assessments and things like that, then I'm going to leave you all for another lecture. Joke. I was sad when they asked me to leave you guys. Weren't you all sad when I left? You all weren't sad.
I was.
Oh, thank you, Alan Gila. Thank you. Is that Mr. Baleni? Okay, but I'm back now, right? So some of the accounting processes, how do you post to a ledger, the tax accounts, the VAT accounts, posting to a cost center? Believe it or not, at DUT, we have a cost center. Like if I had to print this exam paper for you, I will have to use a particular cost center. So if it cost for each exam paper, it say was 2 Rand or 3 Rands, and I had 400 people, that's 300 times 2 or 600 Rands, that payment would come out of a cost center, FITO. All right, so we actually use these processes. And finally, we'll talk about reporting and controls. And again, we will be using the SAP ERP S4HANA system, okay? Right, now again, this course is not an accounting course. I'm not going to be talking about tax and auditing and accounting and all that goes with it. All I want to know is what are some of the basics concepts involved in accounting such that I can now implement it in SAP ERP system, right? So there's this concept of an accrual system. It's in contrast to cash accounting. It depicts the effects of transactions and events in the period in which those occur. Accrual accounting. Even if the resulting payments received and payments are made in a different period. Governments are shifting to accrual accounting, and the biggest shift is expected in Africa. Cash accounting, on the other hand, fails to capture information on assets and liabilities and presents a short-term view of one's finances. Now, we're not going to be talking about cash accounting. We're going to be talking about this accrual accounting because that's how the ERP system operates. Keep that in mind. The controlling unit. Now, if you went and used the SAP S4HANA Fiori system, you'll notice that there's a module called the controlling unit. And there's this financial accounting module. This reports financial accounting reports is primarily directed at external parties. Again, you must keep in mind the ZAM bikes example, because that's an actual business, and we are as accountants or future accountants or auditors or tax consultants, we are pretending to be employees of the ZAM bikes company. And we are learning about the processes involved in the SAP system, right? Let's go on. In contrast, the managerial accounting, also termed controlling. By the way, these are new words that I'm picking up in terms of SAP lingo, if that's the word I could talk about, right? Ordinarily, they used to talk about, a long time ago, my days now, accounting was called bookkeeping. Guess what? There's no books over here. So how can we say bookkeeping? How's that? Mr. Naya, how's that for a joke? We don't do bookkeeping.
Good one.
Thank you. Mr. Naya, did you miss my jokes, Mr. Naya?
Too much, sir, too much.
Oh, thank you. At least you're laughing now with all my jokes, huh? They may be dry, but at least they are jokes, and they're here to add some fun to the lecture. All right? Managerial accounting is designed to collect transactional data that provides a foundation for preparing internal reports that support decision making within the enterprise. So I'll give you a simple report, a very, very simple transactional report. If, for instance, we are noticing that the stationery is running low, or that there's more invoices being paid out, or petty cash is being used, then it can trigger a report, an exceptional report, to state we need to go and order certain stationery. In the case of Zambikes, if we have a just-in-time production and the bicycle wheels are low, and now we need to purchase that, or we need to order the supplies or the brakes or something to that effect, we can set the system to generate such a report. All right. And in terms of money-wise, we are talking about profit and loss. So let's say, for instance, over a couple of months or a tax period, we're noticing a downward trend, then we need to take some steps in order to ensure that we are now making a profit. So in terms of the unit overview, this accounting software, this accounting part of it, we discussed the concepts of accrual accounting, we discussed the concepts of financial accounting, and this controlling unit, right? We are now going to go on to other accounting terms, the accounting master data. Now, from the first semester, we did something about this. We spoke about the master data unit. In the SAP system that we are talking about, we also have a master data. And in that master data unit is where we have all the info required to run the company. And it's like a central repository of data. We'll have the suppliers details, their address, how much of money we owing them, whether they are billing them on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, cash on delivery. All that information is stored in the master data. We'll probably also have data about our company as well. Then these words like general ledger accounts and this thing called cost centers, right? I told you about this already. At DUT, we have a cost center for printing. We have a cost center for stationery. We have a cost center for, I think it's maintenance as well, right? And we'll go on to the accounting processes, reporting, and controls, right? Let's see if this works. So we have completed that, right? Let's go on. There's this thing about the master data. The master data is used to prepare financial accounting reports and are assigned to different account types and groups. The profit and loss accounts. This is used for income and expenses that receive direct postings. I don't have to explain to you guys, you all are postgraduate students in terms of what all these concepts mean. There's this balance sheet account for assets and liability accounts that receive direct postings. For example, value-added tax. Bank reconciliation. Now, in this course, I will not be doing a bank reconciliation. I'm not doing a balance sheet. I'm not posting and writing the T accounts, left and right must balance, all that. No, 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 no. The computer program will do it for me if I set it up correctly. All right? And in this course, I am introducing you to the SAP ERP systems. Okay? I'm not getting in depth into that. If I look at my module descriptor, they are talking about the ERP system to do all of this. In fact, that's what DUT is going to be doing in the near future. They are going to implement an ERP system that will take over basically the accounts, the sales, the purchasing, the HR system. They are integrating all of that into an ERP system. I'm not sure if they're going to be using SAP or not. I'd like to find out. All right. And there's something else called subsidiary ledger accounts. Let's go on. So there's the assets, the customer, the bank accounts, the balance sheet, all of that will be reflected on the balance sheet. And I've got a slide at the end of it all that actually depicts the balance sheet generated from SAP. Okay. Let's go on. What are some of the accounts? There's, okay, they call it Global Bike, but this was from the previous case study that they used, but you can think of it as ZAM bikes as well, all right? But any business should have the following. It should have a balance sheet as an account type, a reconciliation balance sheet, and profit and loss accounts. What are some of the general ledger accounts? You can go on bank accounts, accounts receivable cost, your subsidiary accounts, your customer details, and all that we will be doing as practical work in our SAP S4HANA. I hope you'll still remember your username and user accounts. Okay, are we doing well? Is everything okay? Mr. Naya, Ms. Jagannath, Mr. Baleni, please say something while I have a sip of my coffee. I've been talking now for how many minutes? 22 minutes.
All good, sir.
I'll
All
still
good.
with you, TUTS.
Ah, thank you, Mr. Baleni. Thank you, Mr. Baleni.
Yes, sir.
I missed you, Mr. Baleni. You didn't even phone me and email me or WhatsApp me while I was on sabbatical. Okay. Okay, so let's go on. Updating of reconciliation bank accounts is automatic when transactions are posted to subsidiary ledger accounts. Now, this is the lovely thing about using SAP. If I could sell this idea to you about using an ERP system. If, for instance, a supplier has to provide us with, let's say, bicycle wheels, and payment is made from the bank account, it is automatically processed. This is all in the background. And ultimately, if I, as an accountant, would like to be able to generate a ledger account or a balance sheet, I can create one from this automated SAP software that I have, this ERP software. That's the whole purpose of me teaching you this course, okay? And again, I am touching the surface in this respect. There's so much more that we can get involved in with the SAP system. You can take just one part of it, the HR part, and you can go in depth into it. You can take the accounting part, and even with the accounting part, one particular aspect, and go in depth into that. All right. Let's go on. Here's the general ledger accounts, and there's the typical example that you will see in with our practical work in the workshops that we have, right, or should be having. I would have loved to have seen you face to face in the lab. We could have been playing around with this, but I am going to do this demo in the next lecture, and hopefully you'll be able to see it, so that I'm not only talking theory. This is not just a demonstration lecture, that you see for yourself that this is what happens in the S4HANA SAP accounting software that we're using. So here's a business partner. Oh, this is exactly what you would have seen when you logged into the ZAM bikes. Here's a reconciliation account, accounts receivable, pick and take from Lusaka. Yay, this sounds familiar. We did this. There's my company code, ZM00, the ZAM Bikes Company Limited. Here's my customer number. And yeah, oops, I jumped, sorry. Right. No, let's not go. Let's go for so. Right, so here it is. When we do the practical work, this will make much more sense to you, okay? But don't worry about taking down any notes. I'll post this in the chat, plus I'll email this to you, okay? Let's look at the profit and loss accounts. Profit and loss accounts can be enabled to post to controlling unit, right? This deals with the operating expenses, the money that's coming in, what are some of the non-operating expenses. And you know, I told you about those cost accounting centers as well, because money is leaving our company. And ultimately, the aim of any business, I don't know any other business that doesn't want to make a profit, the aim is to make a profit. And using such software, we'd be able to determine at any point in time within the text here whether we are indeed on a trajectory to make a profit, or sadly, if we are at a loss or going towards a loss. So here's another screenshot from the SAP system that we are using. Under account types, you'll be able to use your drop-down arrow and select what account you want. You'd be able to select whether it's a profit or loss statement, whether you are dealing with the non-operating expenses, or you simply want a balance sheet account. Now, in the next lecture, hopefully, I'll reactivate my username, and I will be able to do this with you. And you'll see it for yourself. So I'm not just giving you a theoretical presentation of a lecture, I'm actually doing it with you. Here's this thing about cost centers that I was talking about. The cost center is responsible for cost containment. It's not responsible for revenue generation. However, the cost center is in effect enabling revenue generation. Because let's say, for instance, at DUT, we have the printing department. Now I can go and use the cost center to print my exam papers. I can print out worksheets for you, our handouts, and all of this would enable me to be a successful teacher and will enable you to write the exam and pass the exam. So guess what? In effect, it's actually responsible for revenue generation, because ultimately you will pass, you will get a diploma, you will get an advanced diploma, you will get a job, and you will pay taxes just like me. Get ready, Mr. Naya, that was a joke. Oh man, I thought that was a good joke when I thought about
Brilliant,
it.
sir, brilliant. Very,
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Was that wasn't a dry joke, huh?
No, sir, not at all.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Why are you not doing the emotions and that smiley face and all? How come I can't see that? Okay. I think I'm on another screen. I'm still sharing my screen. Right. So what are some of the units that are distinguished for this cost center business? Now, the reason we have to do this is because in the SAP system that they have, they consider it not for revenue generation. We have the security department, we have the maintenance department, the production department, and I gave you an example at DUT, which is the printing department. Each cost center has a manager who is accountable for all expenses of the unit. While at DUT, we don't have a manager for each cost center. It's, I think it's part of the debtors and creditors department. All right, so that covers this first part. I've done the accrual. I gave you what's accrual, what's financial accounting, what's a general ledger account, cost centers. Now we go on to posting to subsidiary ledger, and tax accounts, and posting to cost centers. Subsidiary ledger postings. Accounts payable. It's the information about the vendor from whom the enterprise purchases goods and services. So I'm sure you remember this joke of mine, the get a break. You know, I told you, you want a break, a B-R-E-A-K-E, but mine was get a B-R-A-K-E. Mr. Naya, get ready for a laugh. How's that as a joke? Oh man, y'all forgot all my jokes. Ms. Jagannath, Mr. Baleni, that was a joke that maybe it was a little bit of a dry joke. Get a break. For the bicycle, the Zambikes bicycle. Oh man.
I remember it, but
You remember it? Oh, good.
actually, for me, I thought like you wanted to get a break, but I was confused because it was 10 minutes after we had started the class.
Yeah, that was the joke. That was a joke. It's the player with the word B-R-E-A-K-E and B-R-A-K-E. See, this is a higher grade joke. Only like, you know, if you are in the post-grad level, you'll understand those jokes. Yay, I think that was a Thank you. So that was a vendor. They were providing brakes for the bicycle. See, I'm sure y'all missed me. I don't think the new lecturer would have given you a joke like that. That's a Kit Kat brake joke, huh? Miss having to see y'all. Miss Indemande, what do you think about that joke? Getting a break? Esimbele, Mr. Hadebe, that was a vendor, right? They are providing a good, and the goods that they're providing are breaks for the Zambites. And so when the Get a Break company would provide you the breaks, you will probably pay them at the end of 30 days or end of 60 days, and that money will come out of your account, and it will obviously credit the your bank will be debited, and the money will go into Get a Break account. So all that takes place in the background, and ultimately magic it'll appear as a balance sheet, right? Well, not exactly magic, but it would appear, right? So there's the Get a Break. Yay! Do y'all want a break? It's now 2:30. Check it out. Get a break. Isn't that a good joke? Yay! Get a break. Get a break. Get a break. Ah, man. Mr. Naya, Mr. Balemi, get ready for a laugh there. If I have to tell you to laugh at my jokes, then it's not that good of a joke, you know? Oh, man, I'm going to get the new lecturer back again for y'all.
No.
Yeah, right. So wasn't that a good joke, right? There's the joke there. Get a break, right? So we had to create, and the company is Zambikes. There's Zambikes out there. There's 3 items. There's the account that had to be, and this is what they paid: $6,960 Zim dollars. Ah, man, Zimbabwean dollars, not American dollars. That's a joke too. Zimbabwean dollars is worth much less than the American dollar. Oh man. You see, this is what happened when I took a break from all of you. All my jokes became so dry. Y'all don't get it anymore. Y'all forgot about me. Y'all don't get me. We have to join each other and be synergistic. Yeah, I had my video on all the time. Right. Okay, Mr. Hadebe. Oh, I can see the laugh on Mr. Hadebe now. Yay. Don't worry, you'll get Mr. Buthelezi. I will get to the jokes again. You'll get to the lingo, how I talk, right? And then you'll understand that even though the jokes are dry, but they are a joke, right? Hey, Mr. Buthelezi. Thank you, Mr. Buthelezi. All right. So let's go back. Right, let's go back to where I was. Right, so when a company is registered for VAT, they have to charge VAT on sales and pay it to the government. Now, this is the lovely thing about this software. You'd be able to determine how much VAT needs to be paid, and it'll pull out your statement so that that can be paid. And if it's set up correctly, it will even do the payment too for you. SAP Enterprise Systems automatically calculate and post the VAT based on what master data has been entered into. Right? Let's go on. Right, so there's posting expenses to the controlling unit. Our vendor has a particular number, the invoice date, when will it be posted, how much, what's the value, and who am I posting it to. And the lovely thing about using this S4HANA, it's Gooey based. Gooey. Another joke coming up. My Gooey. It's not Gooey. Gooey is graphical user interface. See, y'all have forgotten all my jokes, right? Again, you're thinking it's a dry joke, but it's not a dry joke. It's a good joke, right? Okay, let's go on. Controlling, posting simultaneously at the same time. It's also posted to other ledger accounts and cost centers. This is the lovely thing about it. Once upon a time, when we did bookkeeping, if I go and enter it in one book, I must go and transcribe it to another book and transcribe it to another book. So there's my T accounts. Hey, anybody remember this joke, T accounts? Oh man, T accounts, because can you see it looks like a T over here? See the T. Y'all did this accounting. Come on, undergraduate, you must have done T accounts. Mr. Baleni? T accounts?
Yes, Doc, I still remember them.
You remember the T? Yeah, TEA. How's that for a joke? T, E, yeah, T accounts, right. Thank you for that. There's the cost center accounts. So once those things are posted, everything is sorted. And then finally, you have reports being generated from the SAP system, because that's what you want. Ultimately, you want to make a decision. And one of the best reporting and control is your balance sheet. It tells you the financial status of your company, whether it is healthy financially or whether it's going to head for disaster and bankruptcy, right? So there's the accounting reporting procedures. It says on this account, this was the journal entry. This was the posting when it was posted onto the journal. This is the amount that it has in there, 29,000 Zim dollars, right? And more importantly than that, on this ledger account, it can now generate a financial statement. Yay! That's what I wanted, right? How healthy your company is in terms of Zambites. These are the assets that they have. This is the cash flow. This is the profit, the loss. And it's always nice to see a plus sign in front of there, not a negative sign. And that's what this software is responsible for you to ultimately create a financial statement and show it off to your stockholders. Well, you know, those who hold stock, what do they call them? What is it now? Right, so that they can invest, your investors, right? Your investors in the company. In fact, this company looks quite okay. Yeah, its assets are 3 million or so. Cash, yeah, they're quite okay. So that's what ultimately your ERP system, in terms of the accounting module, should be able to produce. Your profit, your loss, how much expenses you have for that tax period, whatever that tax period is, whether you want to do it on an annual basis, biannual basis, or whatever it is. This is ultimately the accounting side of what I am talking about. I know some of you are tax students, some of you are auditing students, but auditors will also have to go and check out the financial statement of a company. Okay, how's it going? You're getting to grips with me again. I know it will take some time to get used to me. Y'all missed me, y'all don't know, or y'all not laughing at my jokes and everything like that. I know it was a little bit dry. Is it okay? Do you have any questions for me? I'll repeat this at 8 o'clock. Oh, that was the other reason. The new lecturer did not want to have an 8 o'clock lecture. He said, no, it's not part of it. And I said, but you have to do it. You know, that one S. Maniram, he doesn't come for the full time, he's working. And at least in the Monday, she used to come for the evening lecture. Okay, any questions?
Hi, Doc.
Yes.
It's not really a question. Okay, it's a question. Let me put it this way. If, by using this, are you trying to say that we can be able to create financial statements? If, let's say, maybe we have already the general interest, then we can take the information from the TB straight to this SAP so that we can be able to create financial statements. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, yes. That's the whole purpose of using an ERP system. It's to automate and to digitize the paper-based work. This is the objective of this course. That's what it's all about. Using information technology, using software to be able to make our lives easier, right? As an accountant, as an auditor, in order to be able to determine the financial health of the company, not depending on people to do the work, but depending on people and software, right? The SAP ERP. That by definition is what this whole module is about.
So
right?
it's more like Caseware and other softwares accounting.
It's similar to that. You can think of it like that. Yes, yes. But the lovely thing about the ERP is that it integrates all other modules in terms of the business. So maybe you'll have the HR system talking to the accounting system, talking to the cost center unit. It's a one comprehensive, all-encompassing bit of software. If, on the other hand, you were talking about, let's say, pastel accounting would be kind of separate from, let's say, your Microsoft products, right? And most recently, I heard that now Microsoft is getting into this ERP systems where it begins to talk to their products, right? So you can think of this as all-encompassing, as ensuring, like the Zambikes example. If you think of the Zambikes as a company, it is a company, and they are using SAP ERP system. It does everything for them, right? All this stuff is, they no longer have to keep paper-based filing systems. It is processed by this system. And this is what they ultimately want, a reporting statement to give it to their stockholders, right? Mr. Bellamy, does it help you and answer your question?
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc. And I'm more interested on this one. If you have a chance, I think I can. Sorry.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you have a chance sometime, maybe I can come with my TP and see you doing the magic.
Oh, I wish I was an accountant and chartered accountant and all of that, right? I am just, as a teacher, directing you and whetting your appetite into what you need to get done and to do, all right? You must take it further. I'm going to hand you the baton and you're going to get to grips with all of this, okay? This was supposed to have been pure theoretical demo model. I have given you a user account, Mr. Bellamy. You have a Zambikes account, a username, your own password. You can go and experiment with it. In fact, that's what I'm going to go to and do next now, right? I'm going to show you. Let me just stop sharing this one. And I will, we'll come back to those processes, right? Let's go to the, right? So here's the work that you would need to do, right? We will be doing this one. Right. So here's the accounting workshop that we're talking about. So you will have to create, are you able to see this, Mr. Bellamy?
Yes, Doc, yes.
Mr. Bellamy, right. So you need to create an account in the general ledger for Zambikes. You'll need to display their purchase order. You'll need to create a return delivery for that. You'll need to create a credit memo, display the order history, create an invoice receipt, display the general ledger account, and ultimately you need to run a financial statement. If you take this work, Mr. Bellamy, if you create it, in order to do this on your SAP S4HANA, you'd be able to ultimately do what you want right now, right? So here's the vendor account that we will be doing. I think I'll post this as well, right? But it also has the answers because I have the answers there and I wanted to take that away. But because you asked me the question and because I missed you and because we missed out on some lectures and because we only have about 4 or 5 weeks left of the semester, I'm going to share it with you. And because I want to give you some assessment so that I could have a mark for you, we'll be doing this, right? So here's the accounts that you'll have to create, Mr. Bellamy, a profit and loss account. And you need to follow the instructions step by step. Assign a company code. Click on the plus sign. Enter in GL00. Enter your account number. Double click on ZM000. Right? There's the Zambikes company here. Go to the next account. Create the bank and interest account. Click OK. If you follow the instructions step by step, Mr. Bellamy, you'd be able to do this. But obviously, you'd have to have created the previous exercise, right? We continue. Here we go. Click Save. Click on the Home button. To display your purchases, display the purchase order history, click on Display Purchase Order. This will produce the following screen. You continue in this vein, right? Continue. Click on, press Enter. What is the purchase order? I did this with Miss Asanya, and hopefully she did this with you. You continue in this vein. You continue. And I guarantee you, hopefully at the end of the call, you would be able to display the financial statement, right? There's the order history you'll be creating. So you are going to pretend that you are the financial manager in this exercise. You're going to pretend that you are creating an invoice receipt. Hey, and maybe you'll want to have a break. Oh man. Okay, get a break, right? Have a break. Here's get a break, the vendor. Display your accounts payable. This is what I'm going to try and hopefully achieve to complete all of this with you. Display the month-end balance. Yes, Mr. Baleni.
All right. My next question, Doc, is I hope you won't get this one wrong. Is it possible for me, let's say maybe I didn't do unit 1, unit 2, then I just come and start doing unit 5? Or is it a must that I must have started at unit 1?
It would be, you need to know how to navigate in SAP. That was unit 1. You need to do that, Mr. Baleni. Otherwise, you're going to have a little bit of difficulty. Right? But I'll try to help you as far as possible. And there's your financial statement coming out here, Mr. Baleni. Right? There's the financial statement. In order to display your financial statement, you'll need to enter in your company code. You'll need to enter in which ledger entry, which statement that you're talking about, which period are you talking about, from 10/2019 to 10/2018, right? That's the period. What's the company code? And ultimately, this is what it should produce. And Mr. Baleni, if you did this well, then this will answer your question on can it create and display a financial statement, right?
Okay, Doc.
Okay. Can I email this to you, Mr. Baleni? I'll remove the answers. Oh, there's the answer here.
You can keep the answers, Doc. I won't look at them. Don't worry.
Ha, 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 ha. Right. I'm gonna do this for you. Right. I'm gonna post this in the accounting integration workshop. Save as, browse on my desktop. Right. And Mr. Baleni, I'm going to post this in the chat. So I went slightly faster than what I normally would go because I feel that, where's my chat? Or can I just email it to you? Type a new message. There we go. I'm going to now post this exercise. Desktop. Right, so there's the exercise in order for you to generate a financial statement. I had to complete this entire unit because the whole objective is for you to be able to generate a financial statement for the ZAM Bikes company. Okay, now it's not going to be perfect. It's actually going to be a snapshot of what has taken place in ZAM Bikes. Even though it may show you for a financial year, from 10/2019 to 10/2018, but it's just a snapshot of what's happening for you to be able to grasp the concepts involved in creating a financial statement using the SAP software that I provided for you. Okay, Mr. Baleni?
All right, Doc.
Mr. Baleni, check the chat. Right, check the chat. And what I'm also going to post is the PowerPoint presentation for you, right?
Okay, thank you so much.
Sorry, you'll get that now. Right. Thank you for your question. Right, I'll be doing the very same thing this evening. So if you missed today's lecture, please join me tonight at 8 o'clock for Mr. Maniram, the naughty student who doesn't attend the full-time lectures. And I think Ms. Indamandi also joins us then. And yeah, hopefully, I pray and hope that our financial statement comes out in a matter of a few clicks. All right, so I'm so happy to be back with y'all. I hope y'all are happy to have me back as a lecturer. I'm sorry what happened with the department, but they thought they could get rid of me, but they could not get rid of me. And I'm back again with you. Okay, Mr. Hadebe, Mr. Jagannath, let's put our cameras on and say our goodbyes now. Right, it's now, oh yes, 5 to 3, 15 minutes. Okay, so the forthcoming attraction is the accounting principles using SAP S4HANA, the Fiori, we use our Fiori Launchpad, and we're gonna hopefully try and do financial statement for the ZAM Bikes company. Even though we didn't do all their accounting, all their invoices, all their control units, but we're gonna try and create a financial system. It's just for you to get some practical exposure into using this software. Okay. Mr. Naya, any questions? Mr. Hadebe?
Sorry. It's just a question. You'll post everything on YouTube, right? The videos. There's something that I missed out. You said.
Yes. I don't know if the previous lecturer had posted any videos. I gave him my website. I did. Let's stop the recording. I forgot. Why did you tell me to stop the recording? Then I won't tell any secrets. Let me stop the recording. Stop the recording. Okay.